President Trump will honor the president of France tonight with the Trump administration's first official state dinner. Emmanuel Macron and his wife got a White House tour yesterday from the president and First Lady Melania Trump. Tonight's dinner will be held in the state dining room. Major Garrett is on the White House South Lawn, where the official ceremony welcoming the Macrons will be held shortly. Major, good morning.
Good morning. Many world leaders are invited to the White House. A precious few receive the honor of a state visit. So what's the point? To take a strong relationship between the American president and that leader and make it more resilient, trusting, and if possible, creative. All of that will be required for the United States and France as they work through differences on Syria, trade, and the future of the Iran nuclear deal. Last night, President Trump welcomed French President Emmanuel Macron at George Washington's 18th century mansion in Mount Vernon, Virginia. The relationship sealed a while back with an aggressive Trumpian handshake and regular phone calls since. The French president has said his was a friendly relationship with Mr. Trump.
It's very easy. As soon as he asks for a call, I call him back, and exactly the same on his side. We have a very fluent and open discussion.
Macron arrived with an agenda: persuade the president to keep U.S. troops in Syria and stay in the Iran nuclear deal. President Trump is leaning against both.
President Macron's broken the code with President Trump. He's worked the relationship.
Heather Connolly, a former State Department official, says this state visit will highlight unity and France's acceptance of an alliance with Mr. Trump.
This is a returning the generous hospitality, but also a way to clearly state how strong a partner France is.
Macron treated the president to the Bastille Day parade in Paris last year, which included a tribute to the 100th anniversary of U.S. involvement in World War I. The spectacle inspired plans for a grand military parade in Washington in November. Macron also treated the president and Mrs. Trump to an intimate dinner at the top of the Eiffel Tower.
It's in good hands. I think Mrs. Trump is very involved, and the staff seems to love working with her.
Jeremy Bernard was the social secretary in charge of planning state dinners for President and Mrs. Obama.
Pull out all the stops, make them feel welcomed, and make it as presidential as possible.
Bernard says there's not a lot that can go wrong.
Overall, it's pretty scripted, so it just depends whether or not this president stays on script.
The guest list for tonight's state dinner still under wraps, though we are told most of the political invitees are Republicans. The White House has told us of at least one Democrat who was invited and will attend, Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards. Louisiana's ties to France fall into the self-evident category. The dinner tonight, well, rack of lamb, mostly American cuisine with some French flourishes, and a Pinot Noir that carries the motto, French soul, Oregon soil. Gayle?
All right. It sounds very well planned. Well, the table setting looked very pretty. They said Melania Trump's been working really hard on it, so.
Major covered every single detail, from the wine to the menu to the policy. Well done, Major.
It's all well done.
Good
Nobody
thing.
better.
Thanks a lot.
Macron did not bring up the fact that George Washington only surrendered once to the French.
Well, there's still time.
Yeah.
Thanks again,
That's
Major
right. There's
Garrett.
still meetings all day today. Dinner tonight.